How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over how to utilize the trade house most effectively in a way that's going to save you the most money, or basically make you the most money, I guess, in theory or in practice, basically just by ensuring that you're always saving as much money as you possibly can when either buying gear or buying items on the trade house. First things first, there are a few different tabs here. The main trade house tab is going to be for things that don't. This is where you'll find things that don't change at all. So stackable items is what you'll mainly find here, whether it's a stackable seasonal item or a stackable, currency, things like that. This is where you're going to find these. And when it comes to using, or basically when it comes to searching for these, it's typically not the easiest to find exactly what you're looking for based on a certain price, just because there's going to be many thousands of pages of these for sale. So the way that you go about finding what the cheapest price is currently for an item is, say we look at beacons here and we're looking at these Glacial Abyss beacons rank 5. Here we're going to go ahead and click this price check button here in the corner, and with this we can actually see that, okay, there's a couple of them that are priced really cheaply, and then the rest of them are anywhere between 1.6 to 1.8 is pretty much the cheapest offerings around, and then they start to go up from there. So what you end up wanting to do once you click the search button here, you're still just going to see everything. This is where you click the price filter button here, and then you want to change it over here to the unit price filter. So this is going to be the price per unit, and we want to set this to 1.9 because we saw that there's a bunch of them for 1.8 and 1.9. So we want to use this, and when we click confirm, it's going to hide any of them that that basically don't match the price that we know is the cheapest available price. So it will gray them all out like this, so you can't actually purchase them, and this makes it easy to kind of search their pages if you're trying to buy a lot of something, to ensure that you are only seeing what you actually want to purchase, or what's actually within the price that you're trying to pay. So this will save you a lot of time, and you don't have to do a bunch of math in your head. Next thing is the same thing goes for if you are searching for an item and you don't know what the price of it is. Again, you click this price check button here, and you can kind of get the price of what you're looking for. The next tab has much more to it, and that is the advanced tab here. This is the tab that allows you to use specific filters within the search that you're trying to do. So for example, say we were trying to buy a legendary divinity slate, we can actually choose the specific base type. So say if we had a specific divinity slate we were looking for, so say we were looking for a corner of divinity. From here, once you actually select this, the list here will only be the list of the mods that are available on this item. So same thing goes if you're looking for, say, legendary gear. If we pull up like a strength helmet here, the mods that are going to show here are only going to be the mods that are available on this item. So this is actually kind of useful if you don't actually know exactly what's possible on an item. For like corrosions, for example, if you just select an item like this and you search through, you can see what possible mods can actually get on that item. So that is actually quite useful. And then with this, again, so say you're like, oh, I didn't even know you could get this as an option. So you click it and then you could search for it that way. The very useful thing when it comes to actually searching for filters is you can actually store them as what's called a condition group here. So under legendary divinity slate here, if you click add condition group, you could have a condition group, say here, where you were looking for, say I wanted a divinity slate that had at least +1 to levels for something that would work for, say, my Frost Iris. So it would need to either be a +1 Spirit Magus, +1 to all skill levels, +1 to minion, +1 to gold, or +1 skill level, or +1 passive level. So because any of these work, I want to set this to at least one of this condition group here. And when we click confirm, we can go ahead and search this, and it's only going to show me slates that match this actual condition here. or that actually have one of the mod that I am looking for. The other good thing about these condition groups is, say I were to leave here and go to this page, and I'm like, oh, I want to actually search for these again because it's been a while. Say you were playing the game and it's a few hours later and you're still searching for what you're looking for. When you click on your condition group will still be here. So when you click confirm, this will basically quickly fill this list again. So if you're looking for something specific, you can go ahead and do that. And then again, the same thing. So if I want to look for a minimum of 2 of this specific mod, then you can search this way and it will only show me things that actually have 2 of this specific mod. So say I was looking for a slate that had plus 2 out of each, you can do the same thing. This works with all kinds of different items here. And say if we were looking for specific items here, and we wanted to look for items that matched a specific base, for example. So say we were looking for specifically this Long Night Sorcerer's Mask, we would select this base gear. And then say we had a condition group, there are certain things we're looking for where we want them to have at least like 2 separate mods here. We could do the same thing. So say we were looking for, I don't know, double damage, or minion double damage, and then say like, I don't know, so like a sealed mana, something like that. We can actually click on these, and if we click on the item, we can actually select if we want a specific tier of things as well. So we wanted to ensure this was minimum T1. So if you want it to search both T1 and T0 here, you would just take this max value and you would just clear this out. So this is going to be at least tier 1, and then same thing for this one. If we want it to be at least tier 1, for anything that's in the negative, you want to set the minimum as this, right? Or I guess, no, the max would still be fine. No, it would be minimum. Because, yeah. So you want minimum if it's in the negatives like this. And then we can go ahead and search. And this way we're seeing only items specifically with this here. With the sealed mana and with the other mods that we're looking for. The more, you can put more things in that specific filter if you wanted to search for more. It doesn't really matter. So, well, I guess it was maxed still. Why is my brain going wrong with this math? Either way. Yeah. I guess that would be the largest. -8 would be larger than -12. So that would be the max that we'd want to see. Yeah, so in regards to basically searching things, you can do this. Again, if you save it as a condition group, you can basically go and search for it again. Some other nice tips and tricks to know in regards to searching for items is items that are of level 85 to 99 will cost a different amount to... So let's see, we'll just buy a random item here. So we'll take this item here that's 85 to 99, and then we'll purchase an item that is item level 100 as well. So items that are level 100, let's see. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll just buy any of these. Or do I just have something laying around? For the sake of this, we'll just buy it. It's fine. When it comes to items that are item level 85 to 99 or item level 100, they cost different amounts to actually finish crafting. So at item level 100 here, if I want to increase the tier of a mod with prototype crafting, this is going to be costing me FE. And the reason why it is like this is because it has more plasticity required. Typically, I didn't mean to buy one with no plasticity, but these ones will start with 200 plasticity, so they have higher upside potential. But for anyone who is starting out and you're like crafting gear for your first time, you are much, much better off crafting your gear on an item that is item level 85 to 99, because while that one was costing me FE to increase the mod, this one only costs this ground quartz. Ground quartz you'll start getting very, very early, like around level 60 or around level 55 even in the campaign. So you'll actually have a lot of ground quartz, and this of course is like you'll get a bunch of ground quartz for each you can buy like 30 to 50 ground quartz for every 1 FE, even at the very beginning of the league. So it's obviously much cheaper to upgrade an item using ground quartz than it is to use FE. The only difference with this is an item that is not level 100 cannot have its mods moved to T0. But again, upgrading mods to T0 is something that is going to be a more expensive endeavor, right? Like upgrading a mod to T0 is already going to cost you like a minimum of like 50 to 100 FE period. So starting out, especially for new players, I don't recommend you use any item level 100 gear until it really starts to come down in price, which is, typically after the first 4 or 5 days. Or if you are going to use item level 100 gear, buy the gear already with this mod already at T0, because you'll find a lot of items that people will put up that they will put it up for less than it costs to actually get that T0 mod on it. So one example that I use all the time, because I use these type of staffs on multiple characters, is a staff. If we look for a staff here, for example, we can look for one with a T0 to spells here. That's the wrong one. We want this one that goes 5 to 6. And then say like a T0 cooldown recovery speed. So in order to get T0 on both these mods, you would have to have used multiple ultimate embers, as well as push it with, push 2 mods to T0, which is already going to cost you like a minimum of like 200 to 300 gold period. And when you search for this, you can actually typically find one that is, 50 to 100 FE. Which is less than what it costs to actually even click it together. So because there's a lot of people that are trying to craft like the perfect item for them, when they go to do this, if it misses in their eyes, right? If they're like, oh, this item, I needed it to get rid of like this prefix, and instead it got rid of the suffix, so now I'm left with this. This item can't be perfect for them, so they'll basically just sell it to kind of recoup their costs. So something like this, right? This item can't be perfect for them, so they just sold it off to recoup their costs, and they just try again. So something that you'll see, I typically will do this with almost everything I buy. I did the same thing with this, right? The item that I ended up crafting for myself, I bought the same way. I bought a very cheap base here with these 2 mods at T0, and then I just crafted on the last mods that I needed. So you can find and save yourself a ton of money by ensuring that you are searching for things like this instead of, trying to craft something all the way from the bottom. Because realistically, again, we don't need perfect items. We just want the most affordable items most of the time. Like, we want to stretch our money as far as we can without, spending 10 times more on an item just to have it be marginally better than something else. So there's a time and place for that. Right, but typically when it's very early on, that's not what we're trying to do, right? The early days of a league, we're trying to make our money go as far as we possibly can, so we're not trying to spend more than we need to on anything. So this is a good way to ensure that you're not overspending or not wasting your FE early on when you could be saving it to purchase other things. Yeah, the last like little ones, again, same thing. Like, say you're searching for an item and you don't know the price of it. You can actually do the price check here. If you can't do the filtered search on an item, there's one little kind of trick for this. So for example, I was looking at the prices of hero memories here, and I wanted to know the price of the this to you who are calm. This is going to show prices based off of the ones that are 3 seconds and 4 seconds. And I can't really do the filtered search this way to really get the cheapest price. So there's one little trick you can do, is if you actually click these 3 lines here, and we click the, if we click the search thing here, and we actually find one of them, we can actually click the share button here. And when we share this over to chat, what we can do is, now that it's shared in chat, we can link it here. And now when we click it, we can actually do a price check here. And this is where we can actually adjust the seconds. So say if we wanted this to be a max 3 second one here, because that's what we were looking for, we can set this to max 3 seconds here. And now we can do a price check and see what the price of the actual one we want to buy is, which is 978. Without actually doing it this way, this example doesn't quite work because there's not that many listed right now. But say you know, if you were to just do the search through the trade post, you wouldn't actually see what was the cheapest available. You could only do a filtered search, and it's just going to show you everything that's actually there, but not in the order that it is in. One other important thing to know in regards to the trade post, if you are buying and selling items, there are taxes that occur. So these taxes that occur, it will basically tax 1/8 of everything after 200, after you've earned 200 currency. In regards to this, there are ways to get some of these taxes back. So you'll typically be able to get quite a bit of tax vouchers back through the game. They have a lot of them. A lot of them really typically will come from, where's the event thing at? Oh, this one here, season challenge here. So you can get a lot of them. You'll get a lot of them just for doing content like doing Traveler or doing T8 bosses, things like that for the first time. And then you get more of them every time you do level up with alts as well. So the first character you level up as an alt is going to give you 300 tax vouchers back. And then when you do a third, you're going to get another 150 from those as well. So this is nice. It does help supplement the cost of like building another character or building a second character. So keep that in mind. You know, if you were wanting to play something else and you maybe didn't think you had as much money as you needed to for it, you can actually get yourself quite a little boost off of this in order to help kind of jumpstart that second character for you. Yeah, so in regards to that, just keep that in mind if you are like seeing an item and you're thinking about like, oh, I want to like buy an item cheap and then resell it. With this, you are going to, you know, have to ensure that you account for that tax revenue because, you know, that 12% adds up very quickly if you're just trying to like buy stuff and resell it. So yeah, if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.